What if I told you that in just 90 days you could become unrecognizable to your current self? Not in theory, in reality. The way you move, the way you speak, the way you handle pressure. What if 3 months from now, the version of you who hesitates, who scrolls, who second guesses was gone, and in his place stood someone sharper, stronger, focused, a builder, a closer, a force? That's not a fantasy, that's a decision. And if you're serious about making the next 90 days the most powerful, most disciplined, most transformative season of your life, you're going to have to study this video from start to finish. To get the most out of it, watch it a couple of times, because this isn't about hype. This is about how to actually do it, step by step, ritual by ritual, mindset by mindset. The blueprint you've been waiting for is here. But let me be clear from the beginning. This isn't a motivational boost. This isn't a feel-good pump-up. This is war, a declaration against the old you, against the habits that keep you stuck, against the excuses you keep recycling like they're facts. 90 days, one decision, go all in, or stay average. Because here's the truth, 90 days isn't magic, it's math. 3 months of radical consistency is enough to build habits that rewire your identity. It's enough to compound small wins into unshakable momentum. It's enough to rise above 99% of the people sleepwalking through their routines, convincing themselves that someday is a real plan. But none of that happens unless you lock in, unless you eliminate distraction, unless you remove escape routes and treat this like your last chance to finally follow through. You've said you're ready before, but this time you prove it. And if you're serious about this path, then hit subscribe right now, because I'm going to be walking with you through the full journey. Not just today, but every step ahead. These aren't quick hits. These are deep dives. And if you stay locked in, if you truly commit, the world will not recognize the version of you that walks out on day 90. But it all starts here. You've got 90 days to flip the switch. And this video, this is where you burn the old blueprint. Let's build a new one, and let's begin. A man who is truly decided burns his bridges. Not metaphorically, not half-heartedly, not with a backup plan hiding in his pocket. He removes the exit. He makes retreat impossible. And because of that decision, that real decision, he becomes someone else. Not later. Now, this is what it means to lock in. For 90 days, your life becomes narrow, focused, forged. Every day you stack proof that you are not who you used to be. And every day your brain rewires itself to believe it. There's psychology to this, hard science. Your brain operates through patterns, through repetition. Every time you make a choice, your mind carves a groove. Do it once, it's nothing. Do it twice, it remembers. Do it every day for 90 days without deviation, without apology, without negotiation. That becomes your identity. And once your identity shifts, you don't try anymore. You are. It's who you are to wake up early. It's who you are to go all in. It's who you are to choose discipline over comfort. This is why 90 days matters. Not because it's long enough to try something, but because it's long enough to become someone. And let's be real. This isn't about hype. This is about physics. Momentum. Most people never get momentum because they keep resetting. They do 3 days, then skip 1. They do a week, then fall off for 2. They're always starting over, always chasing the spark. They wait for motivation, but motivation is a liar. Discipline, that's the truth. Because discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't ask if you're tired. It doesn't care what the weather is like or what your friends are doing. Discipline moves, and movement creates momentum. Momentum is what turns hard into automatic. It's what turns effort into flow. It's what separates the man who keeps restarting from the man who rises. Because once you cross a certain threshold, once the habits click, once the body adapts, once the mind sees proof, something flips. And now the work starts pulling you forward instead of pushing you back. But to get there, you've got to go through pain, through friction, through the part where it feels like it's not working. That's the barrier most never cross. But I want you to remember this. Resistance is not the enemy. It's the signal. It means you're evolving. Think about it. The muscles don't grow without tension. The skill doesn't sharpen without repetition. The identity doesn't shift without emotional friction. When it gets hard, when you want to stop, when the old habits start whispering, that's the edge. That's where most people fold. That's where you don't. Because you've decided. And a real decision is not about feeling good. It's about becoming great. Discomfort is the price of the next version of you. You will not get it without cost. You will not ease your way into transformation. You will pay for it in discipline, in focus, in energy. But once it's yours, it's yours. That identity becomes your armor. That mindset becomes your fuel. And from that point forward, everything changes. The man who locks in for 90 days doesn't come out the same, because he's trained his brain to obey purpose, not mood. He's practiced showing up when no one's clapping. He's rewritten the stories from I'm trying to I am. So this is the choice. Do you play with the idea of change, or do you become it? Because when you go all in, when you remove the exit and burn the bridge, you force your nervous system to adapt, your environment to shift, your habits to bend toward the standard you just set. That's how identity is forged. Not in one day, but in 90 consecutive ones. So stop waiting for the path to feel smooth. It won't. It's not supposed to. The discomfort is not a red light. It's green. It's your signal to lean in, to keep going, to keep building. Because 90 days from now, if you stay locked in, you won't just feel different. You'll be different, and the world won't recognize you. But more importantly, neither will the man you used to be. There's a moment in every transformation where you stop asking, what should I do? And start demanding, what must be done? This is that moment. The first two parts of this video set the foundation. They lit the fire. But this is where we build the furnace. This is where we create a structure so strong, so focused, so unbreakable, that failure becomes harder than success. Let me introduce you to the 90-day lock-in blueprint. It's simple, brutal, effective. It's not designed for ease. It's designed to make you evolve. These 90 days will be structured around 4 pillars, non-negotiable actions you will complete every single day. Each pillar is designed to sharpen a specific part of you. And when practiced together, day after day, they forge a version of you that's clearer, stronger, and more dangerous than anything you've been before. Let's go through each one. Pillar 1, mind. You can't outperform your own thoughts. Every day for the next 90 days, you will spend 1 full hour feeding your mind, deliberately. This is not passive content. This is focused input. Reading high-quality books, reflecting deeply on your actions and thoughts, writing down insights, goals, or affirmations. This hour is about building perspective, not entertainment. It's time to download powerful software into your brain. Why is this important? Because most people run on autopilot. They consume junk. Their mind is cluttered with distractions, opinions, negativity, and noise. But not you. Not anymore. From now on, your mind becomes your greatest weapon. Choose books that challenge you. Write ideas that stretch you. Reflect on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who you're becoming. 1 hour a day doesn't just upgrade your thoughts, it rewires your identity. You begin to speak differently, move differently, think strategically. Why? Because your mind has been fed with purpose, not junk. And over 90 days, you've installed a new operating system. Pillar 2, body. The body fuels the mind commands the body. Every day you train, minimum 30 minutes, ideally up to 60. The goal is intensity, not perfection. You can run, lift, box, stretch, climb, hike, but you move. Period. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about energy and discipline. Your body is your base, and if your body is weak, your focus will crack. Your mind will tire. Your drive will slip. You don't need a gym. You don't need a trainer. You don't need a playlist. You need commitment. Sweat daily. Push yourself daily. Sweat out doubt. Build pain tolerance. Become comfortable being uncomfortable. Because every drop of sweat is a decision made. I don't negotiate with weakness. And soon, your body becomes an anchor, a force multiplier. It won't just carry your weight. It'll carry your standards. Pillar 3, mission. Every day, you build the dream, one brick at a time. This is where most people fail. They wake up and let life happen to them. You won't. Every day, you give your craft, your calling, your dream 90 minutes of uninterrupted deep work. No distractions, no scrolling, no checking your phone. 1.5 hours minimum. If you're a writer, you write. If you're a business builder, you build. If you're learning a new skill, you train. And if you don't know what your mission is yet, finding it becomes your mission. You read, you journal, you try, you start building anyway. You move forward until clarity arrives. Why 90 minutes? Because most people never even give their goals 90 minutes a week, and they wonder why nothing changes. This block of time, practiced daily, becomes your edge. It compounds. It sharpens your skills. It separates you. 90 minutes a day equals 105 hours in 70 days. That's a part-time job worth of mastery. This is where you build what they can't see yet, and when it's done, they'll feel it. Pillar 4, stillness. If your mind is never still, your potential is never clear. Every single day, for at least 10 to 20 minutes, you will sit in stillness. No phone, no noise, no stimulation, no talking, and no input. It's just you, your breath, your mind, your presence. This is where you defragment, where you drop back into yourself. This stillness is not wasted time. It is the sharpening of focus. It's where the stress dissolves. It's where your ideas form. It's where you remember what matters. You can sit in meditation. You can walk in nature. You can lie on the floor and breathe. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you disconnect from the noise and reconnect with your mission. Most people are addicted to stimulation, so their thoughts aren't their own. You will break that cycle. You will train presence, because presence leads to clarity, and clarity leads to power. Now let's go deeper. Most people underestimate how chaotic their inner world is. They think productivity means more input, more stimulation, more motion. But the elite, the ones who move with precision, they understand that stillness isn't the absence of work. It's the foundation of intelligent execution. You have to give your mind space to breathe, to think for itself. Stillness is not inactivity. It's alignment. It's recovery. It's where your nervous system resets, your vision clears, and your obsession becomes calibrated. So sit down, breathe deep. No phone, no music, just presence, just you. You'll feel resistance at first. Good. That means your mind is detoxing. Let the thoughts rise. Let them pass. Observe without reacting. You're not here to control the noise. You're here to watch it fade. Do this for 10 to 20 minutes daily and watch your focus multiply. 5th pillar, no negotiation. You will do what you said you would do. Period. This pillar is where boys become men, where talk becomes transformation. This is the code that holds the structure together. No negotiation means you don't miss days, you don't make excuses. You don't move your standards depending on how you feel. This is your internal contract. You signed it the day you started this 90-day sprint. And from that moment on, there's no escape hatch. Because here's what most people don't understand. Success isn't a talent problem. It's a negotiation problem. They start strong, but as soon as it gets hard, they start talking to themselves. Just today I'll skip. I'll go easier tomorrow. I've done enough. And little by little, they weaken their own identity. They teach their subconscious. My word means nothing. Not you. You will do it anyway. When it's hard, when it's boring, when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient. That's when the identity shift happens. That's when the future version of you starts to believe you. No negotiation doesn't mean perfection. It means no quitting. If you miss your deep work block, you make it up that night. If you miss your workout, you go twice as hard tomorrow. But you do not allow yourself to become soft. Not now, not in this phase. Remember the line, discomfort is the price of the next version of you. Let me repeat that discomfort is the price of the next version of you. And the payment is daily. If you love this line as much as I do, definitely press that like and subscribe button. Now, if you follow this to the letter every day without compromise, your life cannot not change. Here's what happens. Your mind sharpens. Your decisions become faster, your vision clearer, your thoughts more elevated. Your body becomes a vessel for power, not just in appearance, but in how you carry yourself. Confident, capable, composed. Your mission starts to move. You're not stuck in overthinking anymore. You're executing daily. Your presence becomes magnetic because you've trained silence, focus, calm. You've separated from the scattered masses, and your discipline becomes your identity. No longer something you try, it's just who you are now. And that's the entire point of the 90-day lock-in. Not to check boxes, but to become the kind of person who no longer needs to be convinced to rise. You don't need reminders. You don't need applause. You just move. You just build. You just live differently, because the old version of you, he negotiated with fear, with comfort, with doubt. The new version, he has one rule: number negotiation. If you're serious about transformation, about actually becoming someone you've never been, then you have to make decisions today that you don't revisit tomorrow. This is what we call 90-day decisions. You don't get to choose every day whether or not you'll follow through. That's how amateurs live. That's how the old you thought. The new you makes the choice once and then lives inside it. The power of this phase is certainty. You decide what gets cut, and that decision stands. You don't renegotiate when you're tired. You don't reconsider when you're tempted. You don't water it down because your friends don't get it. You made the call, and now the only thing that matters is discipline. So what gets cut? Distractions. Gone. That means mindless scrolling, constant stimulation, random content that entertains but doesn't build you. It's off the table. Your environment is the battlefield, and if you let low-value inputs into your space, they will infect your focus. So if it doesn't multiply your mission, it's not allowed in your day. Gossip, gone. Drama, gone. You are not available for small talk that keeps you small. Every conversation you have for the next 90 days is either helping you become more focused, more aligned, more elevated, or it's stealing your time and energy. Protect your energy like a vault. You cannot build anything great if your energy is constantly being fractured by nonsense. And then there's alcohol. Let's be honest, you already know. If your mind is serious about growth, about clarity, about building power from the inside out, then you have no space for substances that dull your edge. Drinking might feel like relaxation in the moment, but what it really is regression. It lowers your vibration, disrupts your sleep, and muddies the mental clarity you need to make hard moves. Cut it. Full stop. Not forever, but for now. For this phase. For this sprint into a better version of yourself. Now, let's talk about dopamine. Most people's minds aren't addicted to distraction. They're addicted to the chemistry of distraction. The quick hits, the rapid rewards, notifications, noise, newness. Your brain has been hijacked by microstimulations, and until you detox, you'll keep chasing those crumbs instead of building your empire. You need to reset your baseline. That means silence. That means boredom. That means discipline. The next 90 days are not about chasing dopamine. They're about retraining your brain to find fulfillment in hard focus, deep work, physical effort, quiet growth. It will be uncomfortable at first. That's a sign you're doing it right. The environment you build for this season is everything. If you try to do this in a chaotic, cluttered, overstimulated space, you will fail. So clean it. Clear it. Make it sacred. Make it sharp. You're not building a vibe. You're building a launch pad. Your space must remind you, every time you step into it, this is where I go to win. No more working from bed. No more multitasking. No more background noise. Make your space silent, focused, intentional. Your room, your kitchen, your phone, your laptop, all of it needs to become part of your system. Nothing random, nothing casual, everything by design. And this isn't just about the physical space. Your mental space has to become monk-like. That means boundaries. That means protecting your time from people who don't understand your path. That means deleting apps, muting group chats, and stopping the habit of checking your phone every 5 minutes for no reason. You are building a container for transformation. Nothing leaks in, nothing leaks out. Because every time you allow distractions into your life, you are sending a message to your subconscious. I don't really mean it. And once that message takes root, discipline crumbles. But when you wake up and follow through, even when no one's watching, even when it's boring, even when it's uncomfortable, you're sending the opposite message. This is who I am now. That's how you rebuild your identity, one act of alignment at a time. Your mind does not need more motivation. It needs orders. You have to stop letting your mood drive your behavior. You have to stop checking in with your emotions before taking action. You must become the kind of person who moves regardless of how they feel. Because if your moods run your life, your results will always be inconsistent. This is the season of commanding yourself, of reprogramming your thoughts to serve your vision, not your weakness, not your cravings, not your fear, your vision. So decide now, what are your non-negotiables? What are you cutting? What are you keeping? What gets your energy and what never will again? And once you answer those questions, you live inside the answer. You lock it in and you move. Because this is not about discipline for discipline's sake. This is about becoming someone who finally finishes the mission. Most people fail not because they're weak, but because they're inconsistent. They start strong. They get excited. They write goals, buy the planner, watch the videos. But when the emotion fades, so does their action. And that's the core problem. They rely on motivation. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel inspired. But motivation is a mood, and moods are unstable. You cannot build an unshakable life on unstable fuel. So how do you stay consistent without motivation? You build from identity, not emotion. That starts with a concept called identity anchoring. This means you stop acting like the person you've been, and you start acting like the man you're becoming. Not someday. Now, not when you feel confident. Not when the results show up. Right now, today, you carry yourself like someone who has already earned it. You don't try to become disciplined. You are disciplined. You don't hope to be consistent. You live as if consistency is your natural state. Why? Because behavior follows identity. If you see yourself as someone who quits, you will keep quitting. If you see yourself as someone who follows through, you'll do it, even when it's hard. The key is to act from that place every single day until your actions rewrite your self-image. It's not about faking it. It's about becoming it, one decision at a time. Next, stop obsessing over goals. Set them once, and then forget them. Shift your focus from goals to systems. A goal is a destination. A system is the vehicle that gets you there. Goals don't keep you consistent. Systems do. You don't rise by constantly thinking about the result. You rise by mastering the process. What's your system? What do you do every morning? What do you do every evening? What does your work block look like? What is your workout schedule? Your reading time? Your check-in moment? These systems must be so simple that you don't need to think. You don't negotiate. You don't delay. You just execute. And to support those systems, you track them every single day. If you don't track it, it didn't happen. That's not just a motivational line, it's truth. Your brain will lie to you. It will tell you you're doing better than you are. It will forget how many workouts you skipped. It will rewrite the story to protect your ego. But numbers don't lie. Data doesn't care how you felt. If it's on the tracker, it happened. If it's not, it didn't. So build a habit tracker, or print a calendar, or use sticky notes on your wall. Make it visual. Why? Because the human brain loves momentum. It loves seeing progress. That little check mark, that filled-in box, that's dopamine tied to discipline, not distraction. It builds confidence. It builds clarity. It keeps you moving even when you don't feel like it. And once you see that string of check marks, that chain of wins, you won't want to break it. You'll think twice before skipping a workout. You'll hesitate before going to bed without finishing your deep work because you'll see the cost. And that visible cost and that awareness is what will keep you aligned when motivation disappears. Now build a ritual. Same wake-up time, same morning flow, same nightly routine. Ritual is what creates rhythm. Rhythm is what builds momentum. Momentum is what makes effort feel natural. This is about automation. This is about building a life where your habits run you, not the other way around. You want to lock in for 90 days? Then make the first hour and the last hour of your day sacred. No randomness, no negotiation. Your morning is for priming your mind. Your reading, movement, silence, intention. Your evening is for winding down. Reflection, planning tomorrow, cutting out stimulation. Bookend your day with discipline, and the middle will take care of itself. And when it gets hard, and because it will, go back to your identity anchor. Ask yourself, what would the man I'm becoming do right now? Would he skip the habit? Would he scroll instead of focus? Would he let discomfort run the show? Or would he stand up, be even tired, even busy, and do the thing anyway? That question will change your life, because the answer is always there. And the more often you choose it, the more you become it. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being unshakable in your rhythm. It's about removing the decision-making fatigue. You don't ask yourself if you'll work. You don't ask yourself if you'll train. You do it because that's who you are now. So build the systems, track the work, anchor your identity, and never again let motivation be the reason you move or the reason you stop. Because from now on, you are the reason you keep going. You're going to hit 3 walls on this 90-day path. Not because you're weak, but because transformation always demands resistance. No one walks into a new life without facing the ghosts of their old one. The real question isn't will it get hard, it's will you keep going anyway? The first wall comes fast. Around day 7 to day 10, resistance kicks in. The honeymoon is over. The excitement is gone. The dopamine from starting something new fades. And now it's just you, the work, and your old self trying to pull you back. You'll hear voices in your head. It's too much. Take a break. You've earned a day off. That's not truth. That's your past identity begging for comfort. But listen closely. This is the first test, and it's one you must pass in silence. This wall is important because it reveals who you've been. It shows you all the habits, all the coping mechanisms, all the unconscious patterns that have kept you stuck. You don't fight this wall by yelling at it. You fight it by walking through it, quietly, relentlessly. One disciplined action at a time. Every time you show up despite resistance, you chip away at the old self. Every rep, every page, every focused work block, you are building a new mind. And your old one, it feels that. That's why it resists. But that's also how you know you're on the right path. Then comes the second wall, around day 30. This one's sneaky. You're not struggling anymore, you're just bored. The routine feels repetitive. The grind feels numb. There's no applause, no visible breakthrough yet, just work. And this is where most people quit. Not because of pain, but because of doubt. Is this even working? Is it worth it? Maybe I should change it up. Understand this. The enemy at day 30 is not failure. It's distraction. The temptation to start over, to tweak everything, to abandon what's finally working because it doesn't feel exciting anymore. But this is where greatness begins, in the boredom. The discipline of showing up anyway, when no one's watching, when nothing's changing, when all you've got is the schedule, the system, the silence. You must keep swinging, because what you don't see is that under the surface, everything is shifting. Your brain is rewiring. Your focus is sharpening. Your emotions are stabilizing.